taking place. And in just a matter of a few years, public protest and voting with your dollars has overturned one of the main globalist tools of chemical control. Medical tyranny that was used in Nazi Germany, Soviet... All right, we're going to come right back. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the rest of this with solutions and victories we've had after Wayne Paul comes up, because I want to hit some other news right now. By the way, on the nightly news this evening that I'm hosting, I remember a year ago, the Haitians came out and said, we believe the UN is bringing cholera and other weaponized forms of different diseases here because suddenly this stuff's spreading everywhere, and it wasn't here until they got here. Now it's coming out in the mainline corporate press. This is the case. And we have a bunch of different reports on that this evening. And the UN is doing its normal, raping children and kidnapping people. And so I think this evening we won't just cover what's happening in Haiti, because we always like to go further and give you a backstory. In fact, I know Rob Dew's listening. Rob, let's just not stop there, because during the break I was back there with the TV guys looking at news with them. Let's get together maybe the 10 greatest hits of the UN. Giant child kidnapping rings when they moved into Serbia and Kosovo. Giant kidnapping rings in Iraq. Let's get the DynCorp. I mean, let's show folks, because people don't know about this. I mean, the UN forces are just absolute murdering criminals who want to have fun with people. You want to talk about an army that's known for atrocities? It is just pure evil. Because they've got all this political cover of how they're humanitarian and they care, and all the Miss Americas say support the UN and give to UNICEF and all this bull. It's a eugenics, third world destroying slave grid, and it's come out so many times. Oh, but the Haitians that were called conspiracy theorists, turns out they're right again. Turns out the worst is true. So we're going to have those reports for you this evening, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. If you're not a Prisonplanet.tv member, it'll be 9 years up and operating in April. And over the years, it's had bugs here and there. They're pretty much all worked out. Super fast audio streaming, video streaming, all the films. Everybody can log in at once, right at 7. You can even share your passcode with up to 6 people, so more people can watch it. One membership's like 6 memberships. You can get 44% off a year membership right now. We're running that till the end of the month. And we're also running the 15-day free trial at prisonplanet.tv. And it's a more highly produced version of the radio show. We've got reporters. We've got guests every day. I mean, this is a real news show. And, of course, we get about, I don't know, 25,000, 30,000 people, it looks like, log in when it's live and then watch it over the evening. But then those of you that are members, 15 cents a day, you fund getting the message out. We post it on YouTube and a bunch of other sites, and millions a week on the aggregate do watch the show, and it's only 5 months up and running. And we're developing it for TV and other systems. So if you're not a prisonplanet.tv member, become one today. It takes about 15 minutes to go sign up or 15 minutes. It takes 15 cents a day. It takes about a minute and a half to sign up. Just username, passcode, boom. But if you're going to share the username and passcode with people, make sure it's not something that you have for your email or your bank account. Make up something silly or something easy to remember, obviously, and then give that to the 6 people you want to be able to log in at one time. So 6 memberships, basically, is what it comes down to for $5.95 a month, or get a yearly membership and get 5.3 months free. So that's close to half off the year, and that special will end at the end of the month. We also have some other specials running. And remember, when you purchase the books, the videos, the T-shirts, you get tools to wake up others, but also you support the news websites, the syndicated radio show, the nightly news show, the films, all the stuff we're doing. We're at the tip of the spear in support of Ron Paul, everything over the years. And it's just amazing what we're doing here together. So check out the online video bookstore at Infowars.com, or call toll-free if you've got any questions of the crew here that can answer your questions. 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. Okay, that's my plug here to fill our gas tanks in the Info War. I'm going to come back, get into more news. Then Wayne Paul, brother Ron Paul, is joining us to give us his take on the incredible election fraud in Iowa. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now into hour number 3. And I've wanted to go to calls today. You notice I've been taking more calls because they're so informative and interesting and entertaining, quite frankly. I don't do an entertainment show, but I do like to be entertained myself and to be entertaining just because it gets boring if we're not. That's why I screw around a bit, even though I try not to. I do horse around quite a bit behind the scenes as well. But there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and certainly gallows humor if you get right down to the bottom of it. We got Wayne Paul coming on. I haven't talked to him. I just had the producers call him as a wild hare about an hour ago to get him on after the break because of the amazing chicanery going on in Iowa. In fact, I'm looking for my stack because when I come out of break, I've got to get back into this. But they have now come out and said, oh, my goodness, it looks like the election was a big fraud in Iowa, but we're just going to say that Santorum has won. And there's a big article out on this that's really important. Media cover-up, Ron Paul standing, not discussed in Iowa, vote reshuffle. That's good, but it's like media cover-up, Ron Paul blacked out of Iowa vote reshuffle. He's really been blacked out. Ron Paul blacked out. I'm kind of the editor around here, and I edit live on air. Kurt, prolific, great writer. I might have him change that headline. It's even worse than that. Media cover-up. Ron Paul standing, not discussed in Iowa vote reshuffle. Yeah, he's blacked out. It's just censored out. Memory hold. But I don't know if the general public would know memory hole was getting back to 1984. Oh, here's my stacks of news. Where they just come out and say, well, Iowa's not a real election, but we're just saying Santorum won, and they both share the delegates, I guess. Just beyond crazy. So please get that Kurt Nimmo article out to everyone you know. And I haven't even gotten into this great news. Ron Paul introduces legislation to strike NDAA's police state provisions. That's why we love Ron Paul. Always standing for liberty, always telling the globalists the jig's up, calling them on their scams, calling them on their fraud, calling them on all their ridiculous exploits, their extreme arrogance, calling them on their absurdist, hubris-filled, rampant mania of thinking they're bulletproof, literally dragging our world towards war, global financial ruination, because we, the people, have allowed a bunch of control-freak crooks to run wild. That's what's happened. You know, you guys just turned the heat on in here. I don't think I've had the heat on in here all year. And I remember they did that fiberglass work. I think fiberglass is shooting out of there or something. I feel like my eyeballs just had sand dumped in them. I know, it's getting hot in here now. Usually it's about 60 degrees here in the winter because I like it cold. But I guess now that I've lost like 30 pounds, I don't have my seal blubber as much as I did. My precious blubber. So now I'm getting cold. I'm a little skinny creature. Folks, I am still way overweight. You wait, I'm going to lose 30 more pounds. I've been, it is a plug now that I think of it. If you want to lose weight, folks, the reason you're so hungry and eating is the vitamins and minerals aren't in the food, even if it's non-GMO. Most of it's been depleted, as you know. The soils that the grains are being raised from, that the animals eat, that we then eat, all of it. And so I've got the best products that I've searched and found out there. The longevity products, the Tangy Tangerine, the Rebound, the Pollen Burst, those are my favorites. They've got great whey protein. It's all available at InfoWarsTeam.com. And you can sign up there and get discounts or just buy right there on the site, and your purchase supports the broadcast. And it really works. Look at me. Okay, we got Wayne Paul, brother of Congressman Ron Paul, presidential frontrunner Ron Paul, in first or second place, depending on what poll you look at on with us, just because I wanted to get his take. He's a longtime activist, CPA, going after the IRS, exposing the Federal Reserve, just a chip off the family Paul block there. But when I saw this morning, and it's gotten no media attention, that is dinosaur media. I mean, they're covering it, but they're not pointing out the obvious. Here's a headline out of News 14. Final Iowa tally gives Santorum. We'll show folks a document cam shot of that. They're listening on the radio. They can just Google it and pull it up. But final Iowa tally gives Santorum edge over Romney. No winner declared. And it goes over the fact that, a whole bunch of the key precincts in Ames, Iowa, where he was running 50+% in the polls, Ron Paul, those just disappeared. And then we also have the clip we played 4 or 5 times. We could probably cue it up and play it again for Wayne, where we have on Fox News Karl Rove, known for his election manipulation, saying, a bunch of the ballots didn't show up, so they all just got behind the scenes together as gentlemen and decided that Santorum was in second and that Mitt Romney was in first, and then Ron Paul was in a close third. And Ron Paul doesn't want to act like a sore loser. He says, hey, we're doing pretty good. They did second in New Hampshire. But the point is, that night, we'd already been told by people that some of the precincts were going to count it in secret. And why were there trucks driving around that disappeared? You call it in. And so now it's admitted that a bunch of these disappeared and stuff went on. And so the news is saying Santorum first place, Mitt Romney second, and in literally more than 20 articles we pulled up, not one word about Ron Paul. You would think he was a 4-letter word or something, a cuss word. I mean, it's just no Ron Paul, no discussion of him anywhere. Here is the Des Moines Register. It's got Rick Santorum, total of 29,839. And it says final total, 29,805 for Mitt Romney. So you see that he's got 34 votes more there. Santorum does. And no discussion of what happened with Ron Paul. And they go on and admit in these articles, they may not even count it now, but here's the numbers. Final Iowa tally gives Santorum edge over Romney. No winner declared. Who does that? Do they have another meeting with Karl Rove behind the scenes? I guess with some people that are gentlemanly and have a gentleman's agreement. So there's no discussion of why did all these precincts not report? Why was there fraud that got ignored day one? And where is Ron Paul? I mean, all of this happening just fits into Ron Paul getting kicked out of debates or 89 seconds in the debates or getting the least amount of coverage, or when he does, it's negative and they say he can't win, and shoving Mitt Romney, Santorum, and Gingrich, all globalist flip-floppers on us. I wanted to get Wayne Paul's take on this because this really shows how crazy things have gotten. We were concerned the day before, Wayne, as you know, and some folks in the campaign were like, oh, no, there's no problem. But, I mean, what do you do when this type of stuff's going on, Wayne?
Well, I think it's frustrating for all the supporters for Ron Paul. But even more so, it's got to be frustrating for the people